Here are our ingredients. We have 3 sticks of butter, softened. We have 3 cups of sugar, 3 cups of flour. We have our pure lemon extract, which we're going to be using 3 tablespoons of that. And then we have our 1 cup of 7-Up. And we have my mixer. Y'all know that's my girl. And then I'm going to be, or actually I've already oiled or sprayed and floured my bundt pan. So we're going to start by putting 3 sticks of butter and the 3 cups of sugar and allowing that to cream. All right, so we already have our 3 sticks of butter, and then we're going to add our 3 cups of sugar. It is very important that you let that butter soften. My mixer, I got a wound cranker on up there. Then we're gonna start to let her mix. I'm not gonna talk a lot right now because obviously the mixer is loud, but I have it on about 4. So we're gonna let that mix. And while that's mixing, I'm gonna clean up my butter, get rid of my butter paper, and so I showed you all those different steps because I want you all to trust the process. When I first started baking cakes, I was worried when all my butter clumped up. But you have to let that butter and that sugar cream. Now, if you look at it, it's more of a creamy consistency. So I am going to scrape the sides of my bowl down and let it mix for about 30 seconds longer. And then we're going to add our eggs. So I just want to show you all like our consistency. Hope you can really view it. The creaminess of it if I get my hand out of the way. But yeah, don't be afraid. You know, let that butter and that sugar mix. Let it mix, let it cream. And it will get to the desired outcome. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna let it mix or cream for about 30 more seconds. See the difference there? We're gonna let it cream for about 30 seconds. And then this is my little oil can. Honest confession, y'all. This is what I oil the pan with. Comment below, what do you use to grease your cake pan? That's what I struggle with, y'all. I struggle with that one thing. My cakes tend to stick. So please comment below what you use. And you notice I just dropped 1 egg in at a time. Most cake recipes, sorry, I just jumped from one thing to another. But most cake recipes want 1 egg at a time. And you beat that egg in and add them in until they're all gone. And make sure it's mixed well in between. So I'm going to let this mix. I'll be back. So I have put all 5 eggs in. See, the bowl is empty. And can you tell the difference? Next, we are going to add flour, 1 cup at a time. I'm sorry, I yelled. I don't want you guys to feel like I yelled at y'all. But I'm going to add flour in next, 1 cup at a time. So I've added my first cup of flour. I just turned the mixer up because if you bake at all, you understand that flour If you put too much in or too fast, it will like poof up in the air on you. See how it's all on my mixer now? And I was careful. So I normally stir while I'm adding it, and then I kick the mixer up. Yeah, I stir while I'm adding, and then I kick my mixer up. And one thing about when you're baking, especially the mixing process, you're going to have that clump. Oh. See how I'm getting all my stuff on the side of my mixer? That's why it's important to make sure everything is clean before you start, because if you're a klutz like me, you're going to touch other areas other than the bowl. So it's good to wipe down and make sure the whole mixer is clean. So if you do touch it, you're not worried about it because you're dealing with a clean mixer. So this is what it looks like after the flour mixture, or after the flour has been added to the mixture and it's mixed in. So next we are going to add 3 tablespoons of lemon extract. So yeah, as you probably judged, it's going to be nice and lemony. So I'm going to add those, and then we will mix that up really good, and we're going to add our 7-Up. So I'll be back. That's the third one. I am so sorry that I can't like show you all while I'm mixing everything in. But you can thank our dear Noah for that. He messed up my cabinet stabilizer. So I'm doing this by hand, and the angle that I'm standing at, it's not a good angle for me to use my ring light. So yeah, we'll thank Mr. Noah for you guys not being able to see me add it in. But I did add 3 tablespoons of lemon extract. And I'm gonna mix that up. You can probably see the moisture. It's mixed in now though, or it's mixing in now so you don't see it. See how that cake batter is coming together? So that has mixed in the flavor. I call it flavor. You know, that's what the old people call it. We don't call it. But I'm not, let me not say I. You know, that's what the seasoned people call it. It's flavor. It's supposed to be called extract or whatever. But, so I've mixed that in. Next, we are going to add our 7-Up. And that's the step that you have to be kind of careful. I'm going to show you. Because that 7-Up will pop back. The recipe calls that you kind of just like stir it in. But I'm a new day girl. I use my mixer for just about everything. But you add it in slowly. And I have my mixer on the stir function. Not anything else. Because this 7-Up will like, it's worse than flour actually. And not to mention, sorry for the noise, I have a smaller mixer. I can't remember. I think this is a 5-quart. So it also makes it different that this is a larger mixer. If you have a smaller mixer, it's not this smooth when you add your 7-Up. I just realized that. I normally use that smaller mixer. But this big bowl, I guess because the bowl is bigger, it doesn't like pop up. Because I remember when I first started making these cakes, y'all, it used to give me the blues. But I just thought about it now. That's because I was using my smaller mixer. Tell me what size mixer you use, or if you use a hand mixer. Comment below. I have a hand mixer, y'all, but I don't ever use it when I'm baking a cake. Once you get a stand mixer, I promise you get bougie. Like, you be like, mix a cake by hand? Absolutely not. And it's not being funny, but I bake a lot too. So that's probably why I'm so bougie. But comment below what kind of mixers you guys use. So you don't want to over mix now. So I'm just making sure that I got all that off of there. And making sure that it's mixed in. So I'm going to stop. And yeah, y'all, I told y'all this with me not having my stabilizer, it's a problem. But you can see my batter. And before I put it in the oven, I'm going to let you all see it too. All right, y'all. So that's the cake. I don't always put all the batter in the pan because it tends to rise and you don't want it to overflow. But there's our cake. We're going to put it in the oven at 325 for an hour and 15 minutes. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all because I'm going to show y'all either way. My cakes sometimes stick. That's why I asked y'all to comment below. What do y'all use to grease your pans with? So hopefully this one doesn't stick. Fingers crossed. I told y'all I was going to show y'all either way. Here's my cake. It was a epic fail. Now the cake is good, but it's stuck to the pan. Comment below, what do you do to get your cakes not to stick? The cake is delicious. It's no wet spots. It's moist, but it's stuck to the pan. Now, my husband told me that I was letting them sit too long after coming out of the oven. So he said, try 10 minutes. Did 10 minutes. It's still stuck. I oiled the pan with cooking spray. Somebody told me to do like lard. Did lard or shortening before. That didn't work. So what is the trick to get your cakes not to stick? Cake is delicious, but it won't come out of the pan, so I'm gonna have to pry it out. I'm gonna get a video once I try to put it back together. But please comment below some tips and tricks